What's up, blasters, and welcome to another ski resort review. This time we're heading to the Austrian region of Schladming Dachstein. Be sure to check out our video on Alpe d'Huez as well and let us know which one you prefer. Drop a comment down below. The region of Schladming Dachstein is part of Ski Amadee, a massive collection of 5 regions in the Austrian Alps, but since they're not connected, I find it pretty irrelevant. So Schladming Dachstein is one of those 5 regions, and in itself it also consists of multiple mountains. But the part we will focus on today is the main 4 mountains, which are actually connected. The others are accessible by ski bus or by car, but that's a waste of time, so I didn't do that. I also won't speak about it in this review. Anyway, enough about the technical things. Let's go ahead and score some stuff. We were lucky enough to have a ski-in, ski-out apartment on the Planai mountain, which meant I was on the piste at 8:15 every morning, and I can assure you there are some real gems on the Planai mountain, especially when they're freshly prepared. Okay, so starting your day with a decently challenging black slope is not for everyone, but if you have the opportunity, you should totally go for it. The pistes on the Planai and Hauser-Kaibling mountains are actually some of the best I've ever had the pleasure of running. There are some exceptional blacks, a large amount of brilliant reds, and there are even some good blues. If I had to give any critique about those 2 mountains, it would be that they were pretty much completely destroyed by 2 p.m. And usually I wouldn't expect that until at least like an hour later, maybe 3 p.m. But when they're freshly prepared in the morning, these pistes are pure heaven. If I was only scoring the left 2 mountains, I would for sure score them 9 out of 10. Yep, they're just that good. Unfortunately, the Hoogwoerdsen mountain brings the average piste score down by a lot. And the award-winning Reiteralm pistes just aren't good enough to bring it back up. The Reiteralm mountain, however, does have the Black Quartet, which is a cute and gimmicky way to get you to ski 4 different black pistes. The ski routes are just unprepared buckelpistes though, and I'm not technically good enough to really enjoy them, so I would only recommend them to people who are actually good enough to ride them in a fun way. Another thing that is bringing down the score for the pistes is that all of the valley descents are actually way too hard for beginners, which ends up in some real graveyards on the way down. The Reiteralm descent even has you take off your skis twice to cross a road. In my book, that's a big no-no. Generally speaking, the 4 mountains have a super nice variety of pistes, mainly catering to the more experienced skiers or boarders out there, because there's a really big lack of blue pistes. But other than that, it's very, very good. I would rate the pistes 7 blasties out of a maximum of 10. Not included in the score, but still important to point out, is that the region has some of the best cross-country tracks around. They come highly recommended, so if you like langlaufing, you should totally go for it. When talking about lifts, the same specifics as on the mountains apply. The left 2 mountains actually score very high, with a lot of modern lifts with a super high passenger per hour rate. However, when going from mountain to mountain, it looks like they suddenly forgot to renew all of those lifts. The connecting lifts are actually very old, very slow, and that just brings the whole experience down. The Reiteralm, for example, has the longest and slowest 2-seater chairlift I've ever been on, and I would never want to be stuck on that one in bad weather conditions. Absolutely horrible. The Reiteralm does have some new lifts to make up for it though, so they're clearly investing in modernization. Much like the piste score, however, the Hoogwoerdsen mountain brings the score down. Combine that with the connecting lifts being so slow, the lifts are disappointing. Also, if you connect 4 mountains, I don't want to have to take a lift down. That's just such a shame. Make the whole area skiable, please. If you plan properly, you can totally do a complete tour of the 4 mountains in one day, But unlike other regions where this is possible, you have to make the plan for yourself. And you're slowed down so much by how slow these connecting lifts are. So it's not that fun of a plan, actually. Schladming, if you're listening, please fix it. In total, I would rate the lifts 6 blasties out of 10. The après-ski on the mountain closes at 16:30, like most of the other places in the world, but it's Austria, so you should not expect EDM bangers and €13 beers. It's half-liter pints and wheelie shots all day, every day over here. The atmosphere is very different than France, just listen to the music. The EDM is replaced by mostly German sing-alongs, which everyone knows and sings along to. I mean, why shouldn't you know the name of Niki Lauda's mom? And you should totally do a polonaise if the train doesn't have any brakes. That's only normal. One similarity between Schladming and Alpe d'Huez is that most of the après-ski happens in one massive venue. Schladming has Tenne at the bottom of the Planai mountain, which is probably twice the size of La Folie Douce in Alpe d'Huez. Tenne opens at noon, the party kicks off at 6 p.m. and from what I can tell, it keeps going deep into the late hours of the night. Add to that the Gemütlichkeit that you experience all over the mountain, the friendliness of all the staff in the lifts, in the huts, in the restaurants, etc., you get a brilliant time. Because the on-mountain après was kind of tame and Tenne was actually a bit big for my taste, I would rate the Schladming après-ski 7 out of 10 blasties. This brings the total score for Schladming Dachstein to 7 blasties out of 10. It's probably the best Austrian region you've never heard of. It's ever so slightly behind the big and famous regions like Sölde, Saalbach or Ischgl, but it's close. A total winner in my book. Have you been to Schladming Dachstein? What did you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it.